Yeah. So, well, with that said, let's get started. So, welcome everyone. We're glad that you joined us today. We are going to have a really fruitful conversation about pursuing a purposeful career. This is a two-parter, as you've probably seen from our mentions in our emails, in the newsletter, and on social media. This part, we're going to talk about uncovering purpose today. And then next Wednesday, we're going to talk about, and we're going to actually get into today, we're going to get into some application of that in our careers. But next week, we're going to really dig in and look at our resumes if we're if we're employees or looking for jobs, and our capability statement if we're business owners looking to attract clients. And be more purposeful in our outreach of what clients that we're working with or what jobs that we're taking. So because we can't fit all of this goodness into just this one session, we're actually going to be doing this as a two-part this week and next week. So if you're here today, we really do wish that you'll join us again next week. And we even have another consideration that we'll bring up later on in the call, something for you to consider depending on how you feel about what we've done today. So I'm going to, well, I guess I should do my introduction and Michelle's, and then I'll get into the answers to the poll. So if you haven't finished the poll yet, please use these next couple of minutes to finish the poll questions, and we're going to address what the answers are. So I'm Amber Lee Forrester. For those of you who I know or don't know, hello, thank you, welcome for joining, welcome, and I'm happy that you've joined us again. I'm a life, career, and small business coach, and I'm the founder of Quartz Wellness Collective. I will be sharing more information on my company, but you can check me out at Quartz, Quartz wellnesscollective.com. And I am just so thrilled to be joined with Michele. Michele and I do this as a labor of love from our hearts to connect with you all and give you more of what you need during this time. But it's been going so well, we're going to continue these. But Michele, please say hello to everyone.
Yay, I always look forward to Wednesdays. This is my opportunity to kind of look into my screen and see all of your smiling faces coming back at us. So thanks again for joining. For those of you who are seeing me for the first time, I'm Michele Brown. I'm a certified executive coach, and I call myself sort of a chief empowerment officer. So what does that mean? It means that I really have found my own purpose in that I love to support people within their professional domain to find the career of their choice, but most importantly, to develop the leadership and behavioral and communication skills that just have them be optimal and to be servant and inspirational leaders.
Amazing, amazing. So Michele and I put our heads together today to give you, we're going to start off with a presentation, a couple of presentations on purpose. And I'm going to start out by defining purpose, and then Michelle's going to take it further and talk about applying your purpose within your career. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen and get started in a sec. But first, I'll let you know. Let's look at these responses. So there are 25% of you said that you are satisfied in your current position. 50% of you said that you are not satisfied. And 25% of you said, nah, I'm somewhat satisfied. When we ask you, are you currently working? 50% of you are currently employed. 13% of you are employed and run a business on the side. That's one person actually is employed and runs a business on the side. 2 of the folks, 25%, are actively searching for employment. There's one person who is unemployed and doesn't know what to do just yet, but we hope this is going to help you. So it's looking like we don't have any business owners on today. 0 out of 8 answered that they're a business owner. And 1 person is considering starting a business. When we ask you, are you interested in making a career change in your career? 50% of you said, yes, I'm interested right now. 13% said in 6 months. 38% said in 1 year. Oh, 33%. Another person just answered in 1 year. And no one has yet said that they, oh, we got another person answering. Welcome, Jewel. No one has said that they're interested in making a career change in 3 years, but we got some interested in the next 6 months or 1 year. How do you feel in regards to your purpose? 33% of you said you feel like you're living in your purpose. 33% of you said you feel like you have an idea of your purpose, but you're not living in it. 22% of you said that you like to live in your purpose and don't know how. And 1% says, I don't know what my purpose is yet. No one said that they don't care what their purpose is. Well, good, because we don't think you'd be here if you didn't care. And our last question, are you interested in participating in a purpose planning workshop? 56% of you said yes, 1% said no, and 33% said maybe, keep me informed. So thank you for your answers on that. And that lets us know a bit more of where to focus and what we're talking about here today. So we're glad that you were able to take that. And I'm going to just get us started with uncovering purpose. Can you all see my screen, my presentation? Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So what is purpose? I love this quote. It's by a fellow positive psychology practitioner, Karen Rockin, and she says that purpose is the active way that you uniquely impact the world. Purpose is our why, the why behind why we do what we do. And when we look at purpose, we see that it has a lot of benefits. Purpose gives us direction. It gives us guidance because we know the bigger picture, our reason for why we're doing what we do. So we're able to have that North Star, that kind of map for us and guiding us in the decisions that we're making. We're more intentional with the decisions that we make when we are more purpose driven. It gives us motivation because, oh, sorry guys, hold on. We still have people coming in, so I'm gonna have to exit out of the full screen so that I can let them in. Which my computer doesn't want to let me do. Okay. Just a second. Okay, I don't want to stop it for you guys. So for the folks that are coming in, they may have to wait out here. Okay. All right. Okay, we're back. So if you've just entered, please mute yourself, and I'm going to get back to the presentation. And unfortunately, if anyone else comes in while I'm in the middle of it, we're just going to have them wait until after we finish. Okay. Oh, that just threw me all the way off. Thanks for your patience, guys. Hold on one second. I've got to move this out of my way so I can see my presentation. All right, so we were talking about the benefits of purpose. Better self-esteem. When we're more purpose-driven, we have better self-esteem. We have more self-efficacy. We recognize what we can do and how we can use our strengths and skills, and we feel better about ourselves often. Purpose actually enhances our well-being. We have better mental, emotional, and physical health when we are more purpose-driven. We have less stress and depression when we are purpose-driven. And so this is just a little chart of what purpose can look like in our lives. It's a cyclical experience of volunteering or being purpose-driven in our work brings us more life satisfaction, brings us greater self-esteem, brings us more purpose. The more we walk in our purpose changes as we go. It doesn't always stay the same, but the more we walk in our purpose, the more we are aware of it and continuing to seek purpose in our lives. And I have this, have you ever given a kid a job and watch how their attitude changes? So I have 2 kids, for those of you who don't know, they're very busy. And when they are going crazy and they're doing the most, I stop and I say, can you help me with something? I need you to do this. And so maybe it's sweep the floor. And then all of a sudden they are the happiest little people because they have a purpose. They have something to do with themselves. And so they're able to focus on what that task is. So although we're adults, that childlike part of us, when we have purpose, that's how we feel. We feel more directed and better able to manage our energies. When you're thinking about your purpose, I in the workshops that I do on purpose, I always encourage people to look at the intersection of their passions, their skills, their strengths, and their experiences. So what you love doing, what you're good at doing, how you shine, what you're best at, and what you've experienced. What is at the center of those? How do those things come together? And that's not a question that you can answer in 1 minute. That's something that you really have to sit with and list out these things, and then start to make the connections and recognize the answers in the questions that you're answering yourself and what the trends are. So some questions in uncovering your strengths and your skills and your strengths and experience, I mean, in your passions and your experiences. I'm inspired by, I am proud of. As I'm going through these, feel free to take some notes, write down answers to these things, especially if you're some of the people with us joining today who are looking to uncover more purpose. I am happiest when, I am grateful for, I am amused by, I am interested in, I am inspired by. What are your answers to these things? What do you take pride in? When do you feel hopeful? And when, I love this question the most, when do you love yourself the most? When you're showing up how? When you're doing what? The answers to your answers to these questions are going to be the beginning of your purpose starting to bubble to the top and starting to see the trends of, I'm really good at learning. I'm really good at forgiveness. I'm really good at bravery, perseverance, and recognizing what our strengths are so we can put them to use. So this page is, this is a list of character strengths by virtue. And so I'm going to give you an example of what this could look like. So I took the BIA Strengths offers a character strength assessment. And when I took it, my number one strength was appreciation of beauty and excellence. And I was like, that is so random. That's not what I expected my number one strength to be. But when I started to think about it, I thought, what better of a strength for a coach? As a coach and as an empowerment coach and a motivator, I appreciate the beauty and excellence in people. That makes sense. It's a part of why I do what I do. And so when I saw that as one of my strengths, it made me feel more like confirmed that I'm on the right path with what I'm doing. And when I looked at the other findings of the assessment, I was like, wow, yeah, this is so me. Okay, I'm in my purpose. I'm putting my strengths and skills and passions to work right now. So I encourage you to take a look at this list and write down what strengths you feel you relate to, which strengths you feel are top on your list. Do you have a love for learning? Are you self-regulated? Are you really good at being very disciplined? Are you creative? Those are certainly strengths. Values are another thing that we can look at. What do we value in life? Not just what we want to do in our work, but how we want to show up in our lives. What's important to us to be able to express or to be able to receive in the environments that we are living in and putting ourselves into. Do you value community? Do you value integrity? Do you value prosperity and wealth? Do you value problem solving? Are you really good problem solver? Because there are definitely a lot of management positions that need good problem solvers. Are you trusting? Are you wise? Do you love creating systems? Do you love teamwork? These are some things to ask yourself. So Michele is going to take it away from here and talk about now applying these strengths and these skills and these values that we may have been uncovering over the last few minutes in our career. And so Michele, I'm going to invite you to share your screen. Oh, there you are. Perfect. So Michele, it gives you the option to share one of your screens if you want to just, oh, okay, I think you've got that now. Okay. While Michele gets her screen up, are there any questions or any ahas, woohoos, anything that came up during the presentation that I just made? Just invite you to unmute and chime in if you'd like to for a couple minutes.
This is Anissa. Thank you so much for that. I wanted to know how we can get a copy of that listing. What are we inspired by? What are we proud of? That would be something I would like to answer, but I would like to do the whole sheet. Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, sure. I can share that. We can share that with you all from that's a part of the benefit of joining us live. You can make requests like that. And so we'll follow up to everyone who joined us today, and I can send you that list if you want to take some time to answer those questions and do some exploration at home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And this
So
is,
sorry, Michelle.
no, go ahead. Keep talking because it always happens. The presentation that I'm looking for is not coming up. So, and there was a question also, will I get the right presentation up, that Gail had asked about the actual presentation itself, and our notes or some of the elements will be incorporated into our tips and takeaways.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, there we go. Does everybody see the screen?
Oh. Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so I want to be able to sort of follow on at the heels of what Amber just made reference to, because Amber was speaking a lot of what we refer to as intrinsic, right? In order for us to uncover what our purpose is, we have to do a bit of a deep dive to figure out, what are those values? What are those sort of intrinsic things that are important to us? I want to take it to the next level and sort of help bridge to, well, once you're able to identify what the values are, then what? So I've captured it as part of the 3 C's. I'm going to be taking you through how do you clarify your purpose, how do you conquer it, and how do you stay committed to it. So there's this really great quote by Parker Palmer that says, before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life telling me who I am. This is so rich, ladies and gentlemen, if we seem to have any men who are on the call but haven't shown their faces. All of us are born, honestly, with what our purpose is. But we often have to do the exploration and excavation to sort of uncover, to get past, some limiting beliefs. But when we have found and are in the groove of our purpose, we are really leveraging what we're here to do. So one of the first things, I'm just going to populate all of this. One of the first things that you want to do is you want to retrace your steps. What does that mean? It means oftentimes our career passions are formed in childhood. I speak to myself, and Amber, I want to make sure I don't go over time. So kind of give me the notion when I'm at like the 15 or 20 minute mark, because I want to make sure I get through all of these 9 points. But I remember myself when I was maybe 5 years old, I was in kindergarten, and I remembered what I enjoyed doing is dressing up in my mother's knit dresses with a clothespin to tighten it so that it would, fit my little body. I would step into her high heels. I would look into the mirror after assembling all of my dolls kind of around me, and I would pretend to be a teacher. And as I progressed and got older and was trying to determine who and what I wanted to be when I grew up, the teacher always sort of permeated in my consciousness. But I knew I didn't want to be an academic teacher. I didn't want to be a school teacher. So, I kind of ping-ponged back and forth, actually had a relatively successful career in marketing and brand management and licensing. But it was at a later point in time when I really started to ask the question, why am I here and what am I here to do, that the whole profession of coaching came to mind. So when I think about, how your career passion and your purpose can be formed in childhood, I'm still a teacher, right? So oftentimes retracing your steps is really important. The second thing is to identify what really matters to you. That list of values that Amber captured for us is really the map for us identifying what your perfect career is. Being able to circle maybe 3 or 5 of the most important values will get you very close to who you are and what you ultimately may want to do. The get deep piece, I'm going to do all 9 of these. Here we go. The get deep is you know, if you're seeking to make a purpose or to contribute to society through the work that you want to do, make sure that there's some element of a spiritual component. Now, I'm not talking religion, I'm talking spiritual, meaning how do you want to serve? So if it's working as an employee within an organization, what is their mission? What are they here to do? So it's making sure that it's not just a function that you want to pursue, but that the position that you hold and even the organization that you may want to work for has a deeper purpose in terms of how they want to serve society at large. Point number 4, explore with those who know you. Oftentimes when we are clouded in, you know, ambiguity and we don't know necessarily what it is that we want to do or what our purpose is, have a fun conversation with those who know us best and ask us, what is it that you think I'm really good at? So, you know, oftentimes people know us better than we may know ourselves. So explore those questions with those who know you. Number 5, listen to your heart. You know, oftentimes we don't give ourselves enough time to reflect on what our heart is telling us. Our reasoning mind, our rational thinking, and sometimes even externally parents or professors or family members will tell us, you know, this is what we need to do because this path, this career is going to be where the money is, or this is where the trends are. But when we really put a megaphone to our heart and listen carefully, our heart will tell us what our purpose is. And now is a really good time, everyone, because, you know, we are living in sort of surreal times, but for the most part, even though we may be working remotely or we may even be on furlough, we can take some reflection time to ask ourselves those questions, and hence that's why you're on the call today. Get tested. All that means is what Amber and I will most likely be offering when we put together a program, because this is starting to get a lot of traction and interest. It's perhaps take an assessment. There's a number of links that, you know, we'll probably provide, but even if you want to peruse the internet, there are assessments that by nature of how you answer the question may point you in the direction of what vocation your skills and experience may glean you for. Peel away the layers. What does that mean? It means, you know, there are 2 things that you need in order to really make smart decisions for yourself. Identify what has you stuck. Why is it that you're in a position that no longer satisfies you? Is it, you know, the money? Is it, you know, I'm a single parent, or I just started this career, whatever it is, but it's really identify what has you stuck. And then number 2, strip away the false or negative belief systems, the I can'ts, the naysayers. The people, place, or thing, when you're thinking about what it is that you want to do next, it really is important to understand yourself and what it is comforting to you. So if you're a people person, you want to make sure that whatever it is that you do will have you around people. If you're an introvert, then you might not necessarily want to be around people. You may, you know, want to start a virtual business, or you may want to ask your potential employer if you can work remotely. These conditions that we're working in now, obviously that's the conditions upon which we work, but when things change, you know, we have to think about, you know, what type of environment we want to be in. Same thing goes for place. I often tell so many of the clients that I'm doing career coaching for, is you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. So looking at a culture, the dynamic, the makeup of the people, the type of leaders, make sure that that's an environment, excuse me, that's going to feed your soul. And what is it? What's the thing that I'm going to be doing? If I'm a hands-on person that likes to use my hands, I like to tinker, maybe engineering, maybe if I like to bake, you know what? I have told a story, and I'm not going to go into it, but I'll just reference. I had a client who was a very successful attorney, was in a very prestigious law firm, and he hired me just because, you know, it was around business development. But through our coaching, we were able to uncover that his passion had always been wanting to start and open up a bakery. So his thing was baking. His thing is he wanted to be a dessert chef, but his parents, his father was a judge, had discarded and said, you know what, that is not the profession that, you know, we as a family want you to do. So he ended up uncovering and peeling back those layers to ultimately uncover. And now he's, hopefully, I haven't spoken to him in quite a number of years, but he was on the pursuit of that passion. And then try it on for size, number 9, meaning you don't have to wait until you are ready to interview for a position that may fulfill your purpose and your passion. You may volunteer. If you are gainfully employed, you may look to do a stretch project, or you may just want to shadow a friend of yours who has an ideal position just to kind of get a sense of what that person, you know, is doing. The reason versus passion, you know, I like this illustration because basically it illustrates the battle that we oftentimes go through, the fight around what our rational and reasonable brain, what society tells us, what our parents may have told us, what our teachers and professors may have told us about, you know, what type of career path to take versus listening to our heart. So it's making sure that your passion really is trumping your rationale and your reason. Sound effects, right? So what you want to do is you want to conquer your fear. You want to make your faith stronger than your fear, right? We know fear, the acronym, false evidence appearing real. Fear sometimes will keep us small. It will keep us procrastinating, but ultimately you want to conquer the fear. Potential roadblocks. If there's no template to what it is that you want to do, find your own formula. There are instances with what you want to do, there may not even be a function for it. But I myself have uncovered with, again, so many clients that I've had the honor of supporting. I tell them, look, have conversations with prospective or potential employers, find out enough about what their company is doing, see what the trends are, because there may be something that you can offer and you're actually able to possibly create a position for yourself. So oftentimes it's not about looking for positions that have been posted and trying to apply to them. Sometimes it's being creative and creating your own template. Don't make money the issue, everyone. You know, there's a quote that says, when you do what you love, the money will come. And trust me, it is true. This is one of the irrefutable laws of the universe. When we make a rational decision that we know we have to make money, we know we've got to pay bills, but ultimately when you're looking to pursue your purpose and your passion, don't make money the primary driver. Stay committed. As you all are, at least maybe 50% of you are eager in the very near term to pivot, trying to gain clarity and generate some traction is not going to be easy. It also boils into the number 4, which is become comfortable with no. When you are uncovering what your purpose is and you're driving in that direction, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be more questions than you may have answers to. There's going to be more ambiguity than you could even imagine. But when you say, you know what, my life depends on it, my happiness, my satisfaction, my fulfillment is contingent on me staying committed and getting comfortable with, you know, requests that you make for exploratory conversations or positions that, positions that you interview for, and they say, no, now is not the time. Stay committed. Go for the wow factor. Even though we're in unprecedented times and there's more unemployment, you know, the unemployment rate now has risen to an all-time high, there's still opportunities for you to pursue your purpose and your passion. And when you're having potentially exploratory conversations, and a lot of this is going to be covered in our part 2, employers are looking for passion. So the wow factor is, you don't just want to underscore what your experience has been or what your capabilities or competencies are. You want to talk about what you're passionate about and ultimately how that aligns with what the mission is that that prospective employer is up to. Stay fueled with feeling. Again, it goes back to the stay committed. You know, your passion is going to, as Amber referenced, have you steeped into your emotions, what gets you up in the morning, what gives you a sense of satisfaction. Oftentimes with creative visualization, extend and envision what it's going to feel like when you don't even have to know what it is, but get to the emotion of, oh my gosh, I'm going to wake up every morning. I'm going to really enjoy going into work. I'm going to work with people who inspire me and who, it's a healthy culture. Get fueled by that feeling, because another one of the irrefutable laws of the universe is that's the law of attraction. All we have to do is begin to feel that feeling, and oftentimes the universe will take care of itself. And before you know it, people and situations start to cross our path. Stay the course, as I mentioned earlier. Don't do it just for the money, and avoid naysayers. If you have people in your life, family, friends, a partner, who's saying, now is not the time, are you crazy? No, you've got 15, 20 years. You're a director, you're a manager, you've spent your entire year. No, that's not what your credentials or your degree is in. Those are the naysayers that can oftentimes just, squelch our dreams. Stay around people who are going to fuel your passion and tell you, yeah, you know what? You can do this. So here's the now what? Here's the commitment piece. When you're looking to make this transition, look to see, after you have it, to the best of your ability, identified what it is that you want to do. What is your purpose? What is your passion? Look to see what additional training or credentials, if any, you might need. For me, having spent 25 years in corporate 15 years ago, uncovering that I wanted to be, quote unquote, a teacher within a business environment, that's when actually coaching was brand new on the horizon. So I knew, even with all of my, marketing experience, I needed to get certified. People were saying, oh, Michele, just go out there and be a consultant. No, I knew that I wanted to be able to kind of have the credentials and demonstrate the credibility that I had in the training. So again, think about once you, to the best of your ability, identify what it is that you want to do, what training or credentials you need to use as a transition. And then develop your transition plan. And when I say develop the transition plan, I mean align it with your calendar. Spend quality time working on your purpose-driven transition. Determine what days of the week you want to do this, what hours of the day, and literally plan it like you are starting a business, like it's your part-time job. Identify the buy when and stick to it. As the survey inquired, if you're looking to do this in 6 months or a year, put that on your calendar and then work backwards. When you don't know everything, find a mentor or hire a coach. When you're dealing with ambiguity and you don't know necessarily what you want to do, and then perhaps once you figured out what it is that you want to do and now you've got to come up with an action plan, having trusted advisors to help you process what your next steps are, as well as hold you accountable, is just an incredibly valuable way to generate traction and really build momentum in making your dream come true. You may feel isolated, walk with advocates. Again, it goes back to the don't hang around naysayers. And even if they're, in your family or within your social network, be very careful, keep your passion close to the breast, and share it only with those who are going to support you and champion your efforts. And lastly, write a personal mission statement. We're going to make this form available to you, because this is how you can craft a mission statement. Mission statements are an essential part of what an organization crafts, right? Because this is what we're here to do. When you are looking to live your purpose and your passion, you want to uncover what's my mission statement. And this form, again, we're going to make this available to those who participated today, so that you can begin to craft what your mission statement is, which again, will be very instrumental in anchoring you to what your purpose and your passion is. That's it.
Excellent. Yes. Thank you, Michele, for sharing that. Wasn't that great? You guys can unmute yourselves if you want to chime in. This is the discussion portion of our call, so we've got about 20 minutes to discuss. So any feedback? Would anyone want to Anything that came up? Ahas, woohoos, Hans?
A bunch.
Would you say, Anissa?
A whole bunch came up. Like, I mean, I went out, but I was still listening. And so the most thing that just hit me right now was a mission statement, right? For me, I do a lot of work with organizations and really trying to identify missions for the organizations, but never really thought about a mission for myself and what I really want to do in my purpose. And so I'm really excited about this whole workshop right now, part 1 and 2, because I'm really looking to make some changes in my career. So thank you, ladies, for even coming up with this platform idea, because it just got me, got my heart palpitating with excitement, because it's something that I wanted to talk to other folks about, but didn't really know how to bring the conversation to the folks who are in my social network. And so this just helped me to open up, and I will begin to have those conversations with people who I know have been supportive of me in the work that I really want to do. So I'm just really excited. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Anissa.
Hi, it's Lamonda. Michele, what gave me life, before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life, tell me who I am. Like, ding, 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 ding. That gave me so much life. And my question is, if you could kind of give guidance on, you know, look, I completely agree with you in regards to just living in the epicenter of your purpose, the money will come. I wholeheartedly believe that. Knowing from whom all blessings flow and who the source of all is, I completely concur. However, the reality is that my bank still wants that mortgage every month. PSE&G still comes a knocking. And so on and so forth. So can you just share with us how to remain faithful and trustworthy in what it is, but also manage the reality of what we're all living through?
Got it. Okay. And you're directing this to me, love?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to use my own story because it is evidence and reality based. So at the time that I knew I didn't want to work in corporate, I didn't want to work for my employer anymore, I wanted to be a coach. I was married at the time, and I knew I could not be at a zero net income. So the first piece, and this is advice as well as the experience, is you start with crafting the plan of what it is that you want to do. Just because we've uncovered what that purpose is doesn't mean that we're going to immediately jump ship and go into it, right? Because to your point, we've got real bills and reality that we have to take care of. But when you start moving in the direction of making a plan, for me, what was interesting is it took a year for me to actually leave corporate before I could start my practice. During that year, I wrote my plan because I knew I wanted to be a coach. I identified where I was going to get my coaching certification. It took me 7 months. This is where the universe, God is so good, ladies. I'm telling you, we have to step out on faith because miracles happen. 6 months into my transition, I'm still looking at 6 months going, I don't see any way that I'm going to be able to make this move because my 6-figure plus salary is not going to be waiting for me 6 months from now when I start a practice from scratch. What was happening within my organization at the time is that they were going through a reorg. They came to me 6 months into, my transition. No one knew that I was looking to make this shift. And they said, you know what, we're making an organizational restructure. All of your people and you are, valued employees, but we're deploying your department, Michele. I had 10 people reporting into me, and we're gonna, you identify what positions you want, what functions you want, or you can opt for a package. It was like, ding, ding, ding. That was number one. I was offered a package. That came completely out of the blue. Lamonda, what I'm sharing with you is, as I was pursuing with what I knew I could control, that's all we have to do. And the universe, God, will sometimes create or bring to us situations that are unexpected and unplanned. So I was offered a package. Not only was I offered a package, while I was going through the certification process, one of my classmates came to me towards the tail end of the training and said, when you're ready, Michele, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine who owns a global executive coaching firm. I was like, where is this coming from? Again, a gift from God. Had a conversation with him. I'm still gainfully employed. Now I'm 9 months into my 1-year plan of wanting to leave. I have a conversation with him. I'm saying, I'm still employed. He goes, you know what? No problem, Michele. We will bring you on board now if you are willing to coach on the weekends and during your lunch hour. I was like, hallelujah. And he said, you let us know when you're ready to leave your employer, and then you can join us. So that's just my journey, but my share to you in hopes of answering your question, love, is all we have to do are take the steps in the direction of what it is that we want to do and detach from an outcome. That's faith. All right. So yes, we have bills to pay, but who knows this better than God? Any of our needs, the desires of our heart were placed there by this divine source. And all we have to do is trust that when the time is right, those needs are going to be met. So it's not that we're going to sit and do nothing, but it's also all we have to do is just do our part. And if the only thing is planning and moving in the direction and having conversations and networking, then so be it. And then wait for the universe and God to create miracles and drop them in our lap.
Wow. Powerful. Thank you. Detach from the outcome.
From the outcome. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Michele.
Yes.
Oh, hi, everybody. It's Portia here. I kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit off of Michele in a sense. So 9 months ago, I stepped out on faith. I was very unhappy working in corporate America, and I too quit my well-paying job. I was literally like in a parking lot crying. I would have to be on the phone with my mom before I go to work every morning, just praying for my strength. And I was just like, I can't take it anymore. Wanted to feel was just like, I genuinely wanted to be happy. I was waking up depressed and sad, and it just wasn't me. So I stepped out on faith, and I quit my job. And here I am 9 months later, and literally a week ago, I just launched my official real estate business. And I'm kind of getting goosebumps now just talking about it. So if you hear my voice cracking, don't mind me. I get very emotional. But I can't tell you that I would have seen myself here 9 months later. Like, I didn't know that everything I was doing at that moment 9 months ago and was preparing me for this moment today.
Yes, Portia.
I'm sorry. I just,
don't apologize.
But I'm really grateful. And, at times I had to eat at my mom's house. And when I went out with my two best friends, they're like, I got you, girl. And I just wouldn't imagine that I will be here, like officially a licensed realtor and starting a real estate business. And now I'm helping people repair their credit for free, just off of basic knowledge that I know that comes to me naturally. I'm out here helping other people and just paying it forward. And then today, literally, paying all of my P's and my dues, financially, I'm still not there. But then anonymously in the mail, someone delivers a laptop to my door anonymously. Like that's nothing but God. But I just say that to say, faith is being able to believe in the unseeable. And so I had no idea. My faith was definitely tested, and I'm still overwhelmed. I still don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm taking it one day at a time, and I'm really here. And I'm just like, it can happen. The tongue is powerful. You have to speak your life into existence. If you speak negativity upon yourself, then that's only what you're going to bring. The tongue is so powerful. And I say that to myself as well, because I'm my biggest critic. But we really can manifest our own lives. And only thing we need is a dream, and God will take the rest of the steps. So, yeah, that's it. I'm sorry.
Do not apologize. Thank you. That's a testimonial. That's a very powerful testimonial. The last thing I'll do before I pass it back on to Amber and answer any other questions that you have for us is, not everybody can afford to take that leap of faith and quit their job, right? So for you, Portia, that worked for you, and that was so compelling because you were so miserable, obviously, in what you were doing. So again, you know, sometimes it's to just start the plan and figure out what you can do within the time frame of still getting the paycheck that you need to support yourself, but put emphasis and effort towards what it is that you want to do, because that is you telling the universe, you know what, I'm ready, and start having conversations and start working that plan. Yeah, enough said.
Yes. Portia, thank you so much for sharing that story. I just want to underline a few things that I heard you say and heard Michele say, and make sure that we all caught those. The faith, yes. The clarity. Look at the way when we get clear, we are able to move forward. A lot of us get stuck and paralyzed in the spaces where we are because we don't know where we want to go and we don't have vision. But when we can become more clear with the universe and with ourselves about what we want, then things start to fall into place. So inside psychology, it's called your reticular activation, but it works like this. You know how when you get a new car, say I just got a red Jeep. I never saw as many red Jeeps on the road until I got that red Jeep. When I got that red Jeep, I was like, oh, look at all of these red Jeeps out here. Well, the red Jeeps were always there, but we weren't paying attention to them. And so that's a part of the way that being clear in what we want and our vision works for us. When we are more clear about what we want, we start to recognize when things are falling in place. If we don't know what we want, we don't even know when God, the universe, our higher power is blessing us with things working to our advantage. And so I heard so much in the clarity and of Portia, you were at a point where you couldn't take it anymore, but you had already thought about what's next. And that's what gave you the courage to leap into that space, even not knowing exactly what that looked like. And so I really encourage you all to get more clear about what you want, more clear about your vision for your life and moving forward, more clear about where you are able to be intentional, where luck is not going to just take you everywhere. You may have been lucky up until this point, or you may have fallen into things. And then, you know, the universe does this beautiful thing of, okay, now what do you want? What are you going to do? And it's times like this when we're able to sit still and use this time to lean into that, where we can really let a setback spring us forward. So another thing I just wanted to point out, did you all hear the passion in Portia's voice when she spoke about what she's doing? That gave me chills. It's that passion that feels so good. That's that passion. That's why purpose makes us actually have better well-being. Because when we are so, you know, work can be frustrating. It takes up a third, if not more, of our lives. It takes up so much of our time. And when we're not intrinsically motivated from within, passionate about what we're doing, when we get challenged in our work, we can just get stressed. And it's just like that stress becomes bigger than everything else. But when we are purpose driven, that passion is bigger than everything else. And it is the why that's like, I'm doing this because of my why. And I know that this is just a part of the journey. And I know that that big picture that I see, I'm still walking in that direction. I know I'm still on the right path. So I can get through any how of what's going on because I know my why. So, Portia, I'm just so glad you shared that. Thank you. And Michele, I see you have something to say as well.
I know, and I'm going to make it quick. I know, because this stuff just jazzes us, right, Amber?
Yeah.
So much of what Amber was speaking to at the beginning is really, really important, ladies. The point I want to make is the element of our emotions and our feelings and our passion around what it is that we want to do. We don't necessarily have to wait until we're doing it in order to feel that excitement. We heard Portia's excitement because she's in it, but I would imagine that the fervor that she felt that catapulted her to quit her job was because the feeling of where she was going was trumping the fear or the dissatisfaction of where she was. The point I'm making is, you know, I don't think there's a person on the planet who hasn't read The Secret or is unaware of the law of attraction. It's steeped in our emotional state. It's steeped in the energy that we generate when we are excited about what it is that either what we want to do or what's in front of us. So uncovering that feeling and getting in touch with those emotions and that energy is what is going to draw your dream closer to you. I just needed to make that point. It's not airy-fairy. This is not tree-hugging stuff. This is irrefutable laws that when we begin to put them into place, miracles start to happen in our life. We can just put it into play. There's enough testimonials that we could speak to that give evidence to it, but we just want to anchor you to, you have a whole universe conspiring for your highest and your best.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just want to say from my own personal experience, I had a business for 10, 11 years that I walked away from to do what I'm doing now. And there was a lot of, oh my God, you can't leave that. You put so much into it, but we can't let what we've done up until now hold us back. So I just want to leave you with that as well. No matter what you've accomplished in the space where you are, if you're not fulfilled there, if it's not speaking to your soul anymore, if it's stressing you out and it doesn't feel right anymore and that feeling is growing, then there is something else on the other side of your fear and your comfort zone that's brewing for you. Mm-hmm. So I want to invite, if there's anyone who heard something and they're like, okay, action step, I'm doing this next, will you share that with us? What are you all taking away and what are you going to do after we get off this call?
This is Gail. I actually am very moved by everything. Amber and Michelle, thank you so much. This has been very informative. I am somebody who has been in a career for about 20 years. I'm still in my career, but I'm looking to get started now in a new venture. I'm actually getting a master's after a doctorate. Just because I want to start to venture into more administrative work. I'm a physician that wants to venture into more administrative work in general. But what I realized and why I jumped on this webinar was that even my resume, it does not reflect all that I am and all that I've been, but yet when I was writing up my personal statements for the master's programs, it just made it so clear that I've done so many things, but I don't know how to create that mission statement, how to create that resume. So I'm really excited about that angle as well. I heard a quote the other day, and with the coronavirus situation, and we're all doing all these Zoom talks, but a lady on the Essence, I think it was the Essence, entrepreneur forum, she said, good players, it's something to the effect that good players are made at the off season. And that really spoke to me. And I'm seeking out, these types of moments where I can get to learn how to become a better player in this new game. I'm going back to school. I'm going to, take on a new aspect of my life, a new career. I have to revisit a 20-year-old resume. And it's really like, all new to me. So I'm looking back at purpose. I'm looking back at, everything now and seeing it through these new eyes. And I'm redefining. And so I really do appreciate this time with you guys.
You're so welcome, Gail. You definitely want to participate in our part 2 next week, because we're going to probably have some special guests that can provide some advice and insight to what you need to do to your resume to customize it to what it is that you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week, everyone, we hope that we will see you then. That it's going to be, we learned today that a lot of you are not, you're more interested in your resumes than you are in starting a business, but we will speak to some who are interested in starting a business about a capability statement. And that might actually be a process or an exercise that us with jobs can do to help us unearth some of the things that we can put into the resume. So we'll touch on both of those next week. Today's session, I know some of you joined us late. Today's session will be available, the replay. I'll put the link in our chat, but you can watch our replay and share it with friends who may want to join next week as well, if you think that they would find value in what we're discussing. Trying to chat and talk is a little tough. Hold on one second. Let me just put this link here.
So I'm
It's,
going to fill in just a minute to also say what we're going to be making available to you is not only the form so that you can complete your mission statement. We also have a document that we hope will bridge you to next week. And it's 9 questions to help you identify your passion and your purpose. So as you're going through sort of the clarity and the exploration and the excavation, if you don't know what it is or you don't know what next steps, this questionnaire will hopefully illuminate some things and will hopefully prepare you for our discussion next week. So we'll provide those 2 documents to you as well.
Yes, and you get those for joining us live on the call. See the advantages of joining us live. So I put the link. It is case sensitive, just so you know. You can cut and paste that in. So again, you can watch the replay there. You can share that page for anyone else that may want to join us next week or moving forward. We have on the registration page, you've seen the schedule of events that are coming up. So please look at the rest of the month. You can see all of what we'll be doing in May. Well, not the rest of April, clearly that's over, but all of what we'll be doing in May. That page will also is a place where you can leave a donation if you like. We do this out of the kindness of our hearts for free because, you know, we want to create a space for us to come together and have value and to commune with each other and to support each other. Yet we'd also like to continue this going and have it be sustainable. And we've had some of you say, we want to donate, we want to give to you. So we did put a donation button there for you to donate as little as $1 and as much as you like, if you like. It is not necessary, but is always appreciated. So we thank you all for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week. You know how to find Michele and I in the meantime. Michele is at www.intoactioncoaching. And that's INTU Action Coaching, if you'd like to find out more about her services. And I am at quartzwellnesscollective.com. That's QUARTZ. wellnesscollective.com, and you can also find us online. Feel free to shoot us an email in response to the invitations that you get. Let us know what your thoughts are. Give us your testimonials, give us your feedback, and let us know what subjects we can focus on in the future moving forward, because you keep joining us, so we're going to keep doing this as long as we keep seeing you here. So we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you all. Go on and have an amazing week, and we wish you well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, Portia loves this group. We love you joining us, Portia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.